everyone, and welcome to the Theater of Football. I'm Mike Odom, and I'm joined by Patrick Heinrich. Hello, Patrick.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Patrick, sad day.
Quite.
3-1 defeat in the Champions League, leaving us needing some type of result in Germany in 6 days' time.
Yep.
What'd you make of this match? Because I have a lot to say about Ole, but I want to get your take first.
Well, I think how many times have we talked about kind of this ebb and flow of like great performance, poor performance, cycle that we're in with this season with United this year. But I think some constants that I keep seeing. Martial is just not good in front of goal anymore. I don't know what happens. It's astonishing to me. Last season, he was so good right in the box, right in front of goal. Now he's just lost some mojo. He's been doing okay. I'd say on the side, in the wing, but in front of goal, his performance is just, has not gotten any better. And the only other thing that, that I would say is this game, and I'm sure you'll touch on this too, but I thought this game just suffered from poor management on the sideline. I thought substitutions could have been made better. I thought individual players' performances like Fred obviously was terrible. Getting goaded into, picking up a red card basically. And then I thought the kind of flurry of subs at the end was just silly, kind of a last ditch attempt. So, I thought it was just another example of terrible performance, terrible defense performance too. I'm certainly not singling out Lindelof and Maguire, or not leaving out Lindelof and Maguire, I should say, in my contempt for this match. But I think everybody, honestly, except for Rashford and Fernandez and even Cavani, messed up a little bit. Maybe not Tellus as much, but I think it's just an example of everyone's got something to blame.
I think you could blame Tellus for falling asleep on the first goal.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But right. Yeah, everyone, no one was great. What did you make of Ole's the team he picked from the start? Because I actually liked it.
Yeah, I did too. I think we've, like I said, it's nice to see Martial on the side. I think we've spent so much time talking about, Cavani as a number 9, and I think that's great. To see him there. So I thought, in the midfield, I thought I would have been okay without Fred. I think. Well, I'd say I would have played. I would have started Van de Beek again, honestly, instead of McTominay.
You could say that, or keep Henderson in goal.
Or
but
yeah. Well, I thought De Gea made some really stupid mistakes, but overall, a lot of some of the opportunities were just more poor defending than was his goalkeeping, I would say.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I liked Ole starting 11, but he may as well have at that point driven home and watched the game, because his management of this match, and we praised him. We sat here and praised him for how well he did in our match at PSG.
Yep.
How well he changed the match, made impactful substitutions to change the dynamic of the match, to get us to drive forward and win that match.
Mm-hmm.
It was Thomas Tuchel who did that today. I felt like he made double change shortly paid off with their goal at a time where in that second half they were having trouble creating anything, and they looked extremely vulnerable in the break. And like you said, Martial just couldn't punish them.
Yeah, he couldn't close it.
No. But the thing that just baffles me is you have Fred. First of all, the first 15 minutes, we gave up a goal and we were extremely poor. Then we grew into the game. We got better, started creating chances. We got a goal. But along that time, Fred basically headbutts a player.
Yeah.
And it goes to VAR. The referee goes to the sideline, looks at the video, and determines it's just a yellow card. He is probably the only referee in Europe who would go to look at a replay and deem that not a red card offense.
Right.
So you have that, and you clearly have. There's a tactic that teams use when they play against us, not just PSG and some not big sides, strong sides, even lesser sides, where when Fred plays, they target him, and they target him for two reasons. One, he'll take too many touches in midfield at times and give the ball away, and his distribution can be poor. Yep. The second reason is they do deem him as a bit of a, I don't want to say loose cannon might not be the word, but they feel like you can get to him.
Yeah.
You can get under his skin.
Yeah.
And so he was clearly, once again, this was part of their plan. He was being targeted here, and he was he won the lottery basically to not get sent off for that headbutt.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the clock as that half's ticking on, and I'm like, just get to halftime, just get to halftime, just get to halftime.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely stunned when we come back from the break and he's out there with the rest of the players.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like it's utter stupidity that Ole did not take him off at halftime. And
Yeah.
there was the League Cup semifinal back in January, if you recall, against City. The first half of the first leg, we were terrible. We get beat 3-0 in that half. I think Andreas Pereira started in midfield, was completely missing. He takes him off at halftime, brings on Nemanja Matic. Matic adds some solid, his normal solid play in there.
Yeah.
And we get a goal back. So there's a little bit of hope. We go to the Etihad, and I think it was like a fortnight later. And it was the last game before we completed the signing of Bruno. He started Matic again. Matic actually scored in the first half, but he was also committing fouls every 3 minutes. And he eventually picked up a yellow card for, tacking those up. So, and then there was a point where the referee clearly watching that match pulls Maguire, captaining the side, over, and Matic, saying to make sure it's clear, if he commits another foul, I'm taking him off.
Yeah.
And people criticized Ole like crazy for not taking Matic off. Well, with Matic on the pitch and over those two games, we were 2-0 up, and we still needed a third goal to get back level. And in that situation, you had Pereira on the bench, and your other options would have been like Lingard and Mata. So you really didn't have any other options.
Yeah.
So in that case, I agree with Ole that you trust that player. Matic is an experienced player. You trust him not to get sent off. And in the end, he got sent off. But in this case, you have McTominay and Pogba, who were injured, by the way, back in January, so they weren't available. But you had McTominay with Fred on the pitch today. You have Pogba on the bench. You have Van de Beek, who just played in that position last week in the Champions League. Did very well.
Mm-hmm.
Matic, of course. Why can't you bring? I mean, we've talked about Pogba being a liability on this show. I mean, that might not be the right way to go. But why can't you bring on Donny? And you bring on Donny because he has more legs. Maybe you're worried Nemanja can't keep up with Neymar and Mbappe, which you kind of understand. But you bring on Donny at halftime, and you just make that change. I mean, he was bragging in his press conference yesterday. Oh, everyone's available. Oh,
I know, right?
So make the freaking sub. Take Fred off. And he speaks after the game saying, "Oh, we spoke with Fred at halftime. We told him no more naughty business. Gotta, And then Ole's saying after the match, well, that second yellow, that's not a yellow. Well, the referee who should have sent him off in the first place goes away for halftime. I don't know if he looks at his phone or he talks to his other officials. They might be asking him, why didn't you show him red? They probably saw the replay by that time. Yeah. Or he's just sitting there by himself for 15 minutes, contemplating, thinking about that moment, being like, I should have sent him off. And so the first moment he gets, and to Fred's credit, he he didn't do anything to draw attention to himself for
Yeah.
25 minutes. But yeah, the first tackle he makes, which was I thought was a clean tackle. I didn't think it was even a foul.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's done for.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to take. I mean, it's such an important thing to keep in mind. Like that happens so often. You get a poor call, and then a ref will try to make up the call later on. So I mean, that's not it's not uncommon. It's not like it's not expected. So it doesn't
No.
make sense to leave Fred on at all. I totally agree.
Yeah, yeah, right. You have to anticipate the makeup call. You
Right.
know,
Exactly.
people say, "Oh, it's his inexperience." He's been our manager for 2 years now. He was a
Yeah.
manager in Norway for years.
Yeah.
I mean, and he played for, he had a nice career.
Uh-huh.
So you and I have just watched the game, and we know this stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just stupidity in my opinion that he
Yeah. For sure.
idiotic. And then yeah, the subs after the fact, he needed to make a change or two, I think, in like the 65th minute or something like that. But didn't really happen. And yeah, I gave Ole a 3 out of 10. It would have been a 1 if he didn't name a decent 11 that I thought it was.
Yeah.
Um,
He started off as a 10 and could have ended as a 1.
well, 10 may be a little too much credit. Maybe a 7 or 8, but
Yeah.
he went down. It went downhill fast for him.
Yeah, for sure.
So I did think Cavani was excellent though. I thought if I had to pick one of our players who was really good, I'd say it was Cavani. He hit the crossbar with that chip. It was
beautiful chip, I should say.
yeah. I mean, and he had some lovely link up play with Rashford. And
Spoiled by Martial.
of course, spoiled by Anthony. But I thought he was excellent again. But that was another one that after you're down to 10 men, leave Edinson on because he's our one target man because you're going to be hoofing the ball forward at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
Minutes to go. So leave him on at that point and don't wait and then take him off and then later put on Igalo in stoppage time. I mean that just baffled me.
Yeah, that was a shotgun strategy if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. I understood him bringing on Pogba at that point because with all his talent, he can find lightning in a bottle. Yeah, and he almost did from that Maguire knockdown on the volley. I actually thought that was going to go in when it left his foot, but he hit it well.
Yeah,
probably too well.
For sure.
But Patrick, one more thing before we go. This weekend, Saturday, 12:30. Well, Eastern time in the US, 5:30 over in the UK. United go to London Stadium to play West Ham. It'll be the first time there'll be supporters in the ground since lockdown.
Yep.
So you looking forward to that? Looking forward to hear some actual crowd noise instead of the manufactured?
Yeah, for sure. I'm also looking forward to hearing stories of the crazy deals and bargains that people had to go through in order to get those tickets.
You bring up a good point. I do wonder how those tickets get delegated because it's only what 2,000, I think.
Yeah, for sure. What kind of like crazy, underground, gladiator fest is used to decide who gets those tickets?
Yeah. Well, my local NFL teams had fans in the stands, and they have about 10,000 or so in the stadium. And you go to the secondary markets like StubHub, or was it SeatGeek? I don't know all of them, but you go there, and they're like they're no very top of the stadium. You're looking at $1,000 easy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So that'll be fun to watch. I'm excited for that. I don't buy into the fact that 2,000 fans being there will be an unfair advantage when we still being in Manchester with a higher COVID rate won't have fans. I don't think 2,000 fans makes that much of a difference. It just helps us get back to a little bit more normalcy.
Yeah, for sure.
But I want to thank Patrick for joining me. That curtain is now closing on the Theater of Football. Let us know your thoughts on today's match on Twitter at Theater of Football. And for Patrick, I am Mike. Thank you for watching.
Cheers, everyone.
Oh, hello. Thank you for watching the Theater of Football. If you think Mike got it wrong yet again, please leave your thoughts in the comment section below.